All right, we are joined back with UFC heavyweight Sean McCorkle. What's going on, man?
Wonderful to training.
Sorry, man. Yeah, you were on mute for a second, but
right.
Anyways, you're back on now, so everybody can hear you now, I believe. Sorry about that, but anyway,
okay.
Sean just said he's over there still training with Tim Sylvia over at the Wolfpack. Are these the biggest guys you've got to train with? Tim Sylvia, I mean, he's a big man. Is this the type of camp that you wanted to, get going for yourself since you're fighting someone that's, pretty big himself in Mark Hunt?
Yeah, Tim is a real good one for me to work with. He's you know what, a lot of people give Tim a hard time. He is way better in every area than people would think. Way better wrestler, way better jiu-jitsu, way better striker than you would think. Guy said for years he was just real big or strong, but he's really, really good for me to work with because I can't manhandle him like I do a lot of my training partners. He's hard to take down, hard to stay on top of, and it really sucks sparring with him. So not as much as Matt Mitrione because Mitrione goes 110% all the time. I train with Jake O'Brien and Matt Mitrione about 3 days a week in Indianapolis, and I come up here 2 to 3 days a week in Muncie up here to work out with Tim and Josh Barnes and Gary Myers and a couple other guys, a couple other wrestlers we've got up here. So.
All right, now what are your thoughts on Mark Hunt? He's getting, or the UFC is getting a lot of slap. A lot of people are talking down on this fight because they look at Mark Hunt's record. I believe it's like 5-6. He's a sub 500 fighter, but I mean he's got some good wins under those 5 fights that he's had. So I mean, what are your thoughts on Mark Hunt at this point in his career?
As it cracks me up, guys talk bad about him. I mean, he's lost, I believe, 5 in a row. But look who he's lost to. He lost to Fedor, to Alistair Overeem, Josh Barnett, Mousasi, and Melvin Manhoff. So, I mean, to lose to those 5 guys, I mean, there's not many heavyweights in the UFC, I think, that would go better than 3-2 if they fought those 5 straight, So to lose to those 5 guys, I mean, obviously it's a 5-fight losing streak, but he's also fought, between Fedor, Overeem, and Barnett, probably 3 of the 5 or 6 best heavyweights in the world, in my opinion. So his record is definitely, deceiving. I would almost rather have his 5-6 than my 9-0, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't be able to rub in the fact I'm undefeated if I didn't have my 9-0. So I'd probably keep that instead. But I mean, he also beat Crow Cop and beat Vanderlei Silva. So I mean, it's not like he's fought just bums like I have. No offense to my opponents.
Well, but, I mean. That was going to be the next thing. I mean, you look at his record; it's 5-6. You look at yours, 9-0. But you just said yourself, you fought a lot of nobodies. So how do you really compare this fight? If you're an odds maker, you got a guy that's 9-0 that hasn't fought a lot of big guys, and then you got a guy that's 5-6 with a losing record, but he has some good wins under his belt. I mean, how do you go about if you were an odds maker? How would you place this fight?
If I was the odds maker, I would probably do even odds on the fight, to be honest with you, if I didn't know any more than, anything about the two of us. I'd be concerned that neither of us would make weight if I was an odds maker. But I'm actually already within cutting range. No one believes me, but, I mean, I guess they'll believe it when I stand on the scale. I've lost a lot of weight recently and working really, really hard. My diet's ridiculous. I never discussed specifically with UFC what happens if Mark doesn't make weight, because there are a lot of people are saying that. I can't imagine he wouldn't, only 5'10" or 5'11". But a lot of people are saying that, and I don't know, to be honest with you, what happens if he doesn't make weight. I know I'll make it no matter what. But if he doesn't make it, I've been a little concerned about that. I hope the fight, I'm able to accept the fight, because the UFC, to my knowledge, in the Zuffa era, has never put on a super heavyweight fight, and by commission rules, if Mark or I were not to make weight, it would have to be taken at super heavyweight. So, but I would say, with his, him losing 5 straight and having been off for a year and a half, and with me, being younger, 9-0, I wouldn't be surprised if the odds were even, coming into it. If guys know fighting, that doesn't mean that's why I don't think the odds. I think there's a better than 50% chance I'll win. But being an unproven guy, except on the internet, and against a guy like Hunt, who you've got a pretty good idea of what he's got because of who he's faced, even odds I think would be a fair statement going in.
Now, you talk about cutting weight. I believe this is your first time having to cut weight. This is your first heavyweight fight. When's the last time that you got down to 265?
I have not weighed 265 since I played basketball in college when I was 19 years old. So, it will be interesting. I've been about at least 300 ever since then. And even when I was fighting, there was no reason for me to fight at heavyweight I always looked at it, and that's why I've kind of fought some of the guys I fought. I've turned down some fights with some bigger names because the money wasn't right. You know, I'm not fighting Alistair Overeem in Dream on 10 days' notice for $5,000. I mean, there's easier ways to make $5,000 for me, you know. And that's what the fights, you know, with named opponents that I was, you know, offered. I'd be offering a fight with 3 weeks' notice, but I have to make $265. Well, when you're 320, you're not going to lose 55 pounds for $1,500, you know, to fight a guy in 3 weeks. I mean, it's not, just doesn't make sense. But, yeah, not since I was 19. So it will be, I'm about there. This morning I got on the scale. It was 296 this morning. And that's without any cutting at all, you know, and I'm eating carbs. I'm not, you know, dehydrated at all. This morning I was 296. So, you know, in a period of 7 days, I could make the 260, I guess 266 if I needed to. So.
All right. Now, reading the Underground, some guys were saying on there that you've made fun of people for not making weight in the past. So there's absolutely no way that you would not make weight for this. And I'm not questioning you or anything, but just putting it out there. There's no way that you're not going to make weight.
No, if I have to smoke meth, I will make weight. I will. There's no way I won't make weight for this fight. It would be, you know, Monty Cox is my manager. He's the one that brought me the deal, and that's when I signed with him. And his first question was, you know, can you make weight? He said, listen, you have to make weight if you take this fight, or you'll never fight in UFC. And I said, it's absolutely not. I mean, there's literally nothing I won't do to make weight, whatever I have to do to make it. And I plan on being 280 pounds about 4 weeks out, so that, you know, there's no question at all, maybe even 275 the week before, you know. So I don't want to cut a whole lot of weight. I don't know how I'll feel if I do that. I'm going to take a dry run at it here in about 2 weeks and see how I feel, you know, doing it. But maximum I want to cut 15, 10 to 15. I don't want to do, you know, one of these things where these guys, you know, do 30 in 5 days, if that's even possible. But I definitely don't want to do that. And I also don't know if I've ever made fun of from not making weight besides my friend Tristan Yunker. People keep saying that. I mean, I've made fun of pretty much every fighter for about everything, but the only thing I've ever made fun of that I can remember is Tristan Yunker, because Yunker's a 155-pounder, but he'll miss weight at 205. Like, it doesn't matter where he takes the fight, he always finds a way to miss weight, so we always give him a hard time about it. So
kind of sounds like,
you know,
Casey Guida.
Yeah, he could be walking at 170, take a fight at 185, and weigh in at 190. It's unbelievable. But he always finds a way to not make the weight. So.
All right, man. Now, you post on the Underground a lot, and one of the interviews that you said you signed with the UFC to get chicks. Now, I know you're a funny guy. You like to be sarcastic in some of your interviews. So, but
right.
if that is true, you know, and you think this is really going to be a chick magnet for you, how is this going to affect you posting on the Underground? Are they not going to see you around as much as they have before?
I don't know. I'd like to think that I would be on there, you know. I'll probably be partying with my new friends maybe once I get rich and famous. Well, I'm already rich, so once I get famous, I guess. No, I mean, I try to still get on there. I probably won't be, I mean, obviously I told somebody the other day I'll only be posting pro-UFC threads from now on, unless they decide to cut me, then there's going to be hell to pay. Yeah, I obviously can't say a lot of what I've said in the past, and, you know, borderline stuff. You know, it's funny. My internet persona is not exactly who I am. A lot of it's just to try to make people laugh. I mean, it's all meant to be funny. Whether or not it is to everybody, I don't know. But some people get offended by it. But it's all supposed to be funny. Pretty much anything. Even if I call your mom or your dad every name in the book, it's supposed to make you laugh. So, yeah, I had to sign a conduct clause for my UFC contract. So I don't know exactly. They didn't really spell it out, but I guess saying the F word a lot's still okay since Dane is the one that drew up the contract. But I did have to sign a conduct clause that I will conduct myself in a professional manner. So I assume they don't want me attacking people at hospitals after the fight like Nick Diaz. Maybe that's, you know, what they're talking about, or
and breaking
things
out
of that nature.
Limousine windows and stuff like that. You probably can't do
right,
that.
Right, yeah. Yeah, after I actually sexually assaulted a woman, but they covered that up and didn't tell you what really happened with the guy in the Ultimate Fighter. But I know a guy that was on the show that he actually sexually assaulted and beat up a stripper. So, not to let his dirty laundry out, but that's what I was told by a guy on the show.
Oh, so you're being serious right now?
Yeah, no, that really happened. From what I was told, a guy, I know I don't want to say his name, but one of the guys on the show, so they didn't tell you what actually happened on that he actually beat up a stripper at a strip club before he kicked out the window of the limousine or something. I don't know. Or maybe I just made that up to cause some drama. I don't know.
Oh. All right, man. Now, your last fight was Jonathan Ivey, right?
Right, uh-huh.
Now, he's an Underground poster. I believe that you were also in discussions with the Dream guys about fighting Barnett, another Underground poster. Do you have it out for these heavyweights in the Underground? Do you just want to fight them all?
No, it's unbelievable. Actually, I usually can get them to come out. The whole Barnett thing, someone called me and asked me if I would fight Barnett on like 10 days' notice. And I said, yeah, for $50,000 to fight and $50,000 to win, but I'm not doing it less than that. You know, I mean, it doesn't make any sense for me to do that on 10 days' notice. And so I kind of made it like it was a done deal, you know, that Josh had, you know, specifically asked for it, never thinking he would get online to refute my, you know, testimony. And because Josh had, like, he's been a member 10 years and has like 17 posts, I think.
To listen to the rest of the interview with Sean McCorkle, go to www.joeshowradio.com.